y'all got any of them investments? How's it going, YouTube and my future self? Welcome back to the Lab TCG. My name is Will, and today we're going to be talking about not a topic that I like to talk about. I actually think this topic is kind of cringe, kind of not the greatest, really, but it was requested, and I'm fine to talk about what I'm personally doing. In no way is anything I say in this financial advice, and we're kind of going to go into why I think it's not financial advice, not the fact that I'm not an advisor in any way, shape, or form, but just how risky doing stuff like this is, and probably better ways to invest in general than doing anything related to this. But proceed with your own risk. We're going to go ahead and talk about this topic, what I'm personally doing, and then go ahead and look at some what's on the shelves, because there's two shelves right here, but as you can see, there's a third shelf over here, and that has a lot of stuff that I have no intentions of selling anytime soon. Investments. So, why do I not like this topic? Well, I don't like this topic because over the course of 2020, early 2021, I guess the topic kind of died off, investing in Pokemon cards became a huge deal. New channels, new videos talking about if you buy this single, it's going to go to the moon. If you buy this sealed product, it's never going to go down in value. It's, always going to go up. Just anything that you can relate making money with and buying something together, it just turned collectibles into basically buy this penny stock, it's gonna explode. I think this is terrible. Now, I am a believer that sealed product in general does only go up because there's scarcity there. You buy a product from a store, it is sealed, and the intention of the product is to open said product. So if a bunch of people open the product and you happen to have a sealed product, people want that. People collect that. People desire sealed product. They want nostalgia to then open later. So I do believe there's a lot of value in holding sealed product, which is something that I do. I have some older booster boxes, I have Hidden Fates, I have Celebrations, but I also know that I'm willing to stomach volatility until it appreciates. And also, I don't know if I will ever be able to sell it, to be honest, because I have an emotional attachment to these items. Pokemon has been a part of my life for a long time, actually, starting in like 3rd grade, which several years at this point, 10 years maybe. Pokemon's been a part of my life for a long time, and I just don't think it's something I could sell. There are old booster packs that I had purchased from an antique mart, like Fossil, Rocket, all that stuff, Neo Destiny, that I sold at the time for, double, triple, whatever I paid for them, and I completely regret selling those. It would be worth tons of money today, and there's something that I enjoy. It was a capsule of my, history. It was a bonding moment with not only my brother but my dad when we walked into this antique mart, found a bunch of vintage backs for basically what a retail booster pack MSRP'd, and I completely regret selling them. And that's something in general. I have Hidden Fates ETBs that are 5-6 times the price that they were MSRP, and I don't want to sell them because I have an emotional attachment to them. So overall, investing in sealed product, yes, I think it's viable as a strategy, but I think it was way blown out of proportion over the course of the past couple of years, and I think it needs to be more of a hobby than looked at as super financially speculative, because in general, everything has risk, and the best way to invest is to minimize that risk, because at the end of the day, it's how do you make money and how do you preserve the money, not how do I make money, speculate to get rich quick, and then blow it all. That's my opinion. But personally, I do invest in sealed products. Not a lot. I mean, really, when I buy products for my store to sell, I actually have a hard time letting go of them because I know it's likely they'll appreciate in the future, which is why I do not actively try and sell stuff that I buy. And it was actually a huge issue over the course of a year when I was doing my business, and this might actually help you if you are starting your business too. When you're doing this type of business, it's important to distinguish whether you want to be a for-profit business immediately or if you're trying to invest and that's your business model. Because although I had a distributorship throughout the crazy times and products were selling for way more than they should be, I have held all the product that I have bought from distribution over that past year. Now, recently, the past couple months, I've started selling more because I want to switch that model and I want the cash flow aspect of it. But overall, I would buy products at distribution, and I'm talking cases of stuff, cases of boxes, and then just sit on it. And yes, they were selling for, whatever, $120 a box, but I just wouldn't sell it. I couldn't. Like, I had way too much emotional attachment to it. And of course, now looking back, that didn't work out because now some of those boxes would be selling for basically break even. But that's not the point. I just don't want to sell them. It's not I'm going to take a loss. It's just I value sealed product a lot. Another reason for this is when I was playing competitive Pokemon. If you know, I have played competitive Pokemon for about 6 years. I was pretty good at it. I was in high school, and I was dead broke. I was working like part-time at McDonald's to afford flights, and then flying Spirit with a backpack to go play at these events. I would go to these events. I would win tons of prizing, whether that be sealed packs or boxes or cash prizing, whatever. And I had tons of sealed product go through my hands. But the problem is I never held on to it, not only because I couldn't afford to hold on to it, but two, because if I'm flying Spirit, I have a backpack that I have packed so full of clothes and decks that I cannot afford to take boxes home with me. Like, I would fly home with $10 in my checking account and not be able to pay for an extra bag on a Spirit flight. Like, that's what I'm talking about. So I've had tons of Cosmic Eclipse boxes go through my hands, for example. And of course, now looking back, Cosmic Eclipse, I think it's like $300 to $400. So I just have an emotional attachment to sealed product, and in terms of business, it's actually not great because the purpose of a business is to be for profit. So it would make sense to take the items that I'm buying at wholesale and sell them, which is what I'm trying to do. Hence the reason that I'm starting to push the website a little bit more, trying to get that all built up. But I think that's a valuable lesson. I know I've just rambled for like 3-4 minutes about this, but if you're trying to make a business, you got to be focused. Are you trying to do an investing business where you now have a wholesale license and you can, use money from your job or reselling other items, put that into product and then just hold it, because you're not going to cash flow that way and you constantly need to figure out a different way to make money? Or is sealed product going to be your base? At the end of the day, sealed product is a lot easier to move. You buy it in large quantity, and then you sell it at whatever means you can, and then you just collect the difference. So that's that. I do have some sealed product. We'll go ahead and showcase that in a little bit. The other thing that I do is something I've talked about on this channel already, and that is speculating on individual, bulk cards, not singles. I actually got burned pretty bad by this because I fell into that FOMO trap of, if you buy this card and grade this card, it's going to be worth a ton of money. I fell into it. First to admit it, hold on, let me cut there. If you saw the CGC video that's on my channel, I have slabs on slabs of cards that are worth a couple dollars that I paid, pretty good amount of money to get graded in the hopes that when I receive them back, they'd be worth more. The card market has crashed since, and they're not worth nearly as much as they were, but I fell into that trap of investing in singles, and I should have just stayed true to, buy at 60% and resell them instead of trying to hold on and speculate. Now, I do think that certain cards will appreciate over time, but the whole mania of every single card is going to do well, I just don't think it exists. And history shows, like, some cards, when they were pre-selling at the peak, if you had bought it there, you would still be losing money unless you had bought at the lowest point and now it's to where it is. So I think investing in single cards is extremely risky, and that is not for the faint of heart at all. So definitely proceed with caution if you're doing that. Now, what I'm talking about is the bulk singles, and I kind of mentioned this in the selling bulk video or whatever video, but when I buy bulk collections, I'm getting tons of cards all at once. And because I have the knowledge of the competitive side of the hobby, I know that this Ultra Ball, for example, is going to be worth more because in Brilliant Stars, it's going to get reprinted. So that's something that you could reasonably speculate on. I'm buying this card for 3 cents. Ultra Ball is one of the best cards in the game. Shoot, it's getting reprinted. It might be 25 cents. It might be 50 cents in the future. Cramomatic. Cramomatic is a card that I was buying a ton of. I have hundreds of copies at 3 cents, and now that card is 80 cents. Rotom Phone, same thing. Very good card competitive-wise. It was seeing play when it got released, and then it started seeing more play recently with Mew VMAX, I believe. bought it for 3 cents. I got a ton of copies. It was selling for like 95 cents at a high. So if you have competitive knowledge of the game and you're buying these bulk collections, you can reasonably be like, all right, I'm going to take the bulk cards out that I bought for 3 cents, hold on to them, and if I'm right and the card becomes competitive, there's going to be an increase in demand and the price is going to go up. You can do this for a lot of cards. Like, could you imagine if you had speculated on Drizzile before rotation had occurred, and now you have hundreds and hundreds of Drizziles that you bought for 3 cents now selling for $5 a piece? That'd be kind of crazy. And to me, it's worth the risk of, I'm going to take these bulk cards, and worst case scenario, the bulk value drops by like, half a penny, because that happens. But if I'm buying them at 3 cents, my cost is so low, it is almost irrelevant if I can't sell that card. And worst case scenario, I just regroup that card into a lot and sell it what I would sell a junk bulk card for. So I think there is merit to doing that. If you guys are interested, if you're still watching this video, because I know this is a very different pace compared to the other videos that are on my channel. If you like that type of topic, if you want to learn more about the competitive side of the game and how we as bulk buyers and card sellers can kind of be like, okay, this Zacian V is a pretty good card, it might go up in the future. Oh, this whatever insert card that has any sort of competitive viability that you could buy at a bulk rate could be worth more in the future. I can bring on a friend of mine or multiple friends of mine from the card game that are super excited to get back to playing coming in March or April, and we can do a little podcast about how that all works. One of my friends has successfully predicted cards increasing over and over again just because of how much knowledge he has about the game. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely leave a comment, and I can try and get him on to the channel, and we can talk about that and talk about the competitive side of the card game if that's something you're interested in. But with that, that's really all I do. I have sealed products from a few years ago, but not nearly as much as I'd like. Like I said, I couldn't afford to hold on to it because I was just in school and working part-time, and the goal was paying for flights, not something that most younger kids were doing at the time. So that was where all my old sealed product went. But now, since I have the distribution license, I have been able to get a few things at retail, wholesale pricing, and I've just held on to them. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and show you all the trainers that I've amassed from buying bulk over the past couple weeks, months. So let's jump into that. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over to some of these other shelves. Now, first of all, we got a lot of stuff going on. It is a little bit messy, so I apologize for that. But the first thing we'll talk about is the competitive singles. So, as you can see, I have tons of trainers. I already showed this stuff off, but one of the things I like is bulk trainers. Taking them out of bulk that I buy and just kind of putting them to the side, and then, weekly looking on TCGPlayer's best selling and seeing if any of the trainers that I've accumulated are now selling for more than they were. It's great because I buy these things at like 3 cents. Worst case scenario, I bulk them again for, call it 6 cents. And best case scenario, they become $1, $4, whatever, like Drizzile. Like, imagine speculating on Drizzile at 3 cents each, then post rotation it goes to $5. Huge returns. And if you can buy a bunch of them, it's great. So all this bulk, this is just one box. This box is also unsorted trainers that I've pulled out of bulk. So all this stuff, there's tons of good cards in here that are good and expanded, like Guzma. There's cards in standard that are decent, Rose Tower. So, any of these going to 50 cents, $1, $4, couple dollars, huge returns for the 3 cent investment. Is it going to make me rich? Probably not, but it's better than nothing. And for the cost of what it takes to buy these and hold on to them, it's really nothing. And like I said, worst case scenario, a couple of years, they're worth nothing. I just bulk them again. So then coming along here, you guys already know that shelf. This is going to be more of the speculation shelf. I kind of set it up a little nicer to showcase some of the stuff. We got a Japanese Lieutenant Surge deck. This was part of one of those Antique Mart collections. I've just held on to it. I think I bought this 5 or 6 years ago. Worth a little decent amount. Unified Minds booster box. I got this when I first started distribution. They had some Sun and Moon boxes in stock, and I went ahead and bought this for wholesale. So great return. This Team Plasma box is from when I used to do Shopify stuff with my business Kanto Cards Pokemon. I was like 14, and I got fronted a bunch of products, and I just kind of held on to this one. So very unique and cool product. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I definitely didn't, because I wasn't playing when that product came out, but that's something I have. And I got some Vivid Voltage Building Battles, Ultra Prism box. These Pikachu boxes, they're a pain to ship, so I just figured I'll just keep them. Ultra Premium Collection, you guys know. And then Hidden Fates ETBs, those kind of go all the way back there. Shining Fates, at least what are these called? Celebrations. I don't know why I blanked on that. And then I got some Japanese stuff over here. Friends and I kind of speculated on these and went in on them. Charizard doesn't go wrong, so and Unbroken Bonds is pretty good. Then I have some unique items. If you're familiar with the competitive side, you would know more about this stuff, but down here in this little trash bag, I have this stuff in here to keep dust off of it. But when I was younger, first time I qualified for the World Championships, I got top 16. So this is the top 32 Anaheim hat that they gave out. Very unique item. Not something you see every day, but it's super sick, the color scheme. I'm not a hat guy, but I love this item. A lot of nostalgia there from winning that. And then I apologize for the camera shake, but I'll grab this item too. This is I believe this is only top 16. The hat was given a top 32 as well, but this is the top 16 Anaheim bag that they gave out. So when you do well at the World Championships, you get a bag, and you also get Champions Festivals and some other stuff. So yeah, I do have Champions Festivals too. Those are getting graded right now, but that's another really unique item, not something you see every day. And then over here, one of the first speculations that I ever did when I was younger was these deck boxes. These are double deck boxes from the World Championship store. You can buy these for like 20 bucks, and I just realized that the older versions of these unsealed were always worth a ton of money. At the time, it would have been the Hawaii 2010 ones. So I would just every year go and buy 10 of these. So like after or before sales tax, it would be like 200 bucks, and I'd get 10 deck boxes. So I have Anaheim, Nashville, DC is back there. So those are cool. I bought these battle decks in a buyout. So I got these for cheaper than MSRP. Reshiram worth quite a bit. And then same with Pikachu's Ekrom. But I mean, those are more recent products. So there's some more deck boxes up here. I think I covered these a while ago on a different channel. That video is no longer public. But I also got this Erica's theme deck. That one's not sealed. Tons of playmats from playing the game. You know, more stuff that you don't really see every day. I don't know if I have one on hand, but I have a few top 8 and champion playmats somewhere in here. I have no idea where they're at. Moving down, Japanese deck boxes. When I was playing, I was obsessed with having flashy deck boxes and sleeves. So these are just kind of neat items that I've acquired over time. Sorry for just throwing them, but these are pretty cool. Lanyards and stuff from playing. And then down here I have tons of Worlds decks. If you've watched Danny Phantom, you know these are just like old decks that used to be playable. So yeah, lots of stuff going on over there. And that's kind of the stuff that I hold on to. Mainly the bulk singles I think will be good for tournaments and sealed products. The other stuff is all just things that I have acquired over time from playing. So hopefully you enjoyed that little look into the behind the scenes of stuff that's going on over here. If you can't tell, I have a huge bias towards competitive side of the game. Historically, it's one of the smaller niches within Pokemon, but that's where it came from. I know the most about it, and I might be attending some of the events that are coming back up soon. I do plan on going to Europe for the International Championships in Frankfurt, but I don't really have the time to go to all the regional ones that they're doing in the United States, so I'm going to try and plan on hitting the International Championships. So if you are going to that, you might see me there. Or NAIC, which would be later, but I know this video was kind of all over the place. We got some little fired up thoughts on my end about speculating. We got some of the stuff that I'm doing, a little bit of the sneak peek into what's going on behind the scenes over here. But overall, if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 180 subscribers. Wow. Lots of growth over the past month. truly amazed. If you haven't already, join the Discord. You can recommend video ideas to me there. This is where that video idea came from. Or, as always, leave a comment. I'll answer any questions that you want me to answer. Feel free to give video ideas, any of that stuff. Thanks so much for all the support. It means a ton to me, guys, and I will see you all next week with another video. Have a great night.